Hi, everybody. I am here in the Bach Dancing and Dynamite Society Transcontinental Studio, bringing to you today one of our favorite artists, Axel Strauss, the violinist who lives in Montreal. And we've been working with Axel for a long time, and we want to bring some of his artistry to you today to enjoy during our virtual Bach's Lunch Festival. So I'm here with Jeffrey Sykes and Axel, and we're going to ask him a few questions. Hi, Axel. How you doing?
Doing fine, doing fine. I like what you've done with your studio. Looking great. You see I'm wearing the uniform.
I so appreciate that. I so appreciate that.
Oh, so, Jeffrey too. See the twin flame right there.
Yeah, there Jeffrey's shirt is sagging down, but Axel's is right.
It's great to be here.
We're eager to hear about how you've been holding up, what's been happening in your life since COVID started. Give us a quick rundown.
Yeah, that seems like that's a huge, that has impacted everyone in such a huge way. And, you know, I mean, I remember my birthday's on March 12th, and that was the day when everything closed. And that evening I was out for dinner with friends. And 2 days later, I came down with a fever, and things kind of got pretty intense, you know, pretty high fever, and, you know, all the symptoms of like chills, and I lost all sense of taste and smell. And I got a call from a colleague who said, you will get a call from you know, the health department because you've been in contact with somebody who tested positive for the virus, so you should go. You have to go get tested. So I ended up getting tested while I was sick, and but you know, I never got the test results back, which was rather anticlimactic. So I still don't know if I actually had the virus or not. But I mean, given how it felt, I really wanted to have been the virus, because you know, I don't want this to have been for nothing. But if it was the virus, I was really lucky because it didn't actually get bad in terms of, like, you know, didn't go to the lungs or be any kind of hospitalization. None of that was required. But it did lead to me not playing violin for longer than I think I have ever stopped playing, which was kind of interesting.
I bet you were so happy when you could pick it up and play again. It
was
so absolutely wonderful.
And it makes you also realize, you know, when you don't have things planned and lined up, and you know, basically like what happened to everybody is everything for the summer basically evaporated. All summer plans. In fact, today I think would have been our first concert at BDDS this year.
That's right.
Yeah, I looked at the calendar and I really kind of was stunned that, you know, wow, that's where I would have been now. And so without these goals, it's not so easy to keep going and to decide what you're going to do. So I was really happy when you guys, you know, suggested this idea to, you know, put something together, record something, and have it broadcast. Although that has its own challenges, you know. I now know why they have recording studios for these things. It does have a certain charm to do this in your living room, but you know, you try to get decent results. It takes some doing. So you have a big learning curve.
That's for sure. Oh my goodness, what I went through the other day, I don't ever want to go through it again.
Well, so guess what?
Wait, how's your wife and daughter? How are they? Did they get sick too, or how are they doing?
No, they're doing fine. I mean, they did not get sick. And
amazing.
Yeah, there was enough isolation. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet they didn't want to see you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Plate under the door.
Yeah, basically. It was only pancakes under the door, basically.
Yeah.
No, everybody's doing fine.
Pancake diet.
Yeah. That's right. Or the occasional flounder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, now things are back to normal. I feel perfectly fine now, and I was really happy to get back to playing. And you know, and Montreal is still somewhat shut down. It's gradually opening up, but you know, we have to get used to wearing masks and all that jazz that I mean, I'm not telling anybody anything
At
new.
least you string players can wear a mask.
Exactly.
Not
Yes.
an option for me.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's talk about some music. Jeff, did you have a question you wanted to ask?
So what have you been listening to? What music have you been playing? What have you been listening to? What have you been turning to during all of this time? What kind of music draws you right now?
Well, to be honest, actually, it was a long period of time when I went without any music, because of the way the whole situation went. And then, I started, of course, coming across all these videos and productions that were done remotely and people did at home, there were some really brilliant ones. Like one of my colleagues did, the principal of the Montreal Symphony, principal cellist, he did some really great videos with his colleagues, and just there was a lot of talk. I was involved also at McGill, where I teach, to move everything online and to figure out how can we do all these things online. And one of the aspects of that will also be, well, what about technology? How can we how does it work with put these videos together that they become meaningful and that you can still say something meaningful in them. And the other thing was, thinking about how can we deal with ensemble playing and playing together. And so there's this whole idea, of layering. So, people putting down a track and then you go on top of that and play with that and create an actual ensemble video without ever having been in the same room at the same time, putting that together. And so there was a lot of that big learning curve with that. So that's mostly what I've actually been focusing on, which I'm happy I did, because, now I have a better idea of how to do these things at home. And, for the recording that I did for BDDS, I chose some solo Bach because it's some of the greatest music ever written. And of course, it's the solo violin repertoire is very specialized. I could have also chosen to do all Paganini caprices or something like that, which would
we'll
knuckle buster.
We'll get back. We'll get back to you on that. I mean, I expect that we're going to be doing this all through the winter, and all of our artists are going to be a part of it. Because this is what we do, and so we're just going to probably keep cranking them out. Not on the level that we are right now, but through the winter, I think, and as we pray that we will be able to be together this time next year. So keep practicing your solo violin rep, which is so rich, and we could do 100 shows just on that.
There's a lot of repertoire, but it is, no.
Tell us tell us about the piece you're going to play today.
I chose the Gavotte en Rondeau from the E major partita by Bach, and I chose it because it's an uplifting piece. It's a light dance. It's somewhat celebratory, and I thought that would be a good fit, for these times to hear something that lightens the mood, even though all of these pieces are equally amazing. But I thought that was a particularly good fit for this purpose, so that's why I chose it.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah. One of the things about Bach that is so great is that he can write the most profound music that is extraordinarily light in character. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Indeed.
It's just brilliant music, but it might be celebratory, light, festive, and yet it's still brilliant.
Yeah, that's right. And for Bach, dancing and dynamite, a dance by Bach was a very appropriate thing to choose. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be great. Thank you so much. And we'll be seeing you on the internet.
Yes. And I really, really hope that for next year, everything will have normalized, and that we will be back in real time, in the same place, playing together. It means a lot.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It does. Well, thank you, Axel, for everything. You stay well.
You too.
Stay solvent.
Right. Yes, I will do my best.
And we'll look forward to talking to you again sometime soon.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Great.
Bye.